Well, hi, friends. Chris Kelly here. Let's see, late in the week. Sorry, just in camera. There we go. Late in the week. Time to look at stats, just kind of look at what's going on in Portland Metro. You know, I've been seeing the last few weeks, things are kind of staying the same, fairly flat. Interest rates have been fairly flat. Pricing's been fairly flat. I would say some of the same, but I got some other things I want to talk about. Just more, just more words of encouragement, I guess, than anything. But let's take a quick look. Let me minimize me. We'll go to this. So, you know, listings are off a little bit, and that's been a couple of weeks that they've diminished a little. I'm not like freaking out over it, but it's not perfect. We'd like listing inventory. I would like to see listing inventory continue to increase. That hasn't been happening. Again, people are still kind of in the pause mode, you know. Listing inventory last year wasn't dramatically higher than this. However, you know, 2022, this is about where the world started changing. It was about June and into July of 2022. It's when interest rates first started changing. So listing inventory was still robust and things were still robust there. If you notice the numbers in 2023 versus the numbers in 2024, they're not dramatically different. I mean, in the scheme of things, this is Portland Metro wide. So this all speaks to what I've been talking about a flat market. Same thing with the velocity of the market or the speed of the market, right? That's what these average or median days on the market numbers represent. Pretty fast last year, this particular time. Super fast still in 2022. Not dramatically slower. I mean, you could say, well, it's almost twice as much as 7. It is, but it's still, you know, 13 is a median days on the market in a relatively flat market where we've seen 6 to high 7 interest rates for a couple of years, basically. You know, that's pretty decent. This number, the average, and this disparity between the median and the average, where I look at market pace, that's what matters to me. This number is decent. It's gotten better than it was. But when this disparity is huge, like a couple of months ago, I think, we were at like 9 or 10 and like 80 or 85 or 90 or something. So it was a pretty big disparity. It was almost 8 or 9-fold median versus average versus, you know, this is what, 7 times 4.5, 7 times 4-fold. This is 3-fold basically. That means all of the market is moving basically at a given pace. This means that some of the market is moving at a pretty good pace, and the bulk of it is, but there's a lot of stuff out there that is straggling or acting as stragglers. So, you know, and that's what I think I said last week. If you're wrong in this market, you're going to stay wrong. It's important more than ever to make adjustments as a seller and not wait for the market to catch you. It's arguably even more important to try to be right in the first place. But, you know, not everybody wants to hear that. You know, you think your house is worth this and it's worth this. Well, we want to start here because what if? And I don't begrudge a seller for that. In 10 sellers, 8 of them are that way at least. So it makes sense. But by and large, if you're wrong, you're going to stay wrong until you make the decision to be right. So, it's just, it's really important to get good advice, to look at the information that's out there, to really dig in and look at what properties are doing, with the ones that are selling, why, and the ones that aren't, why. And then act on that advice as a seller. As a buyer, you know, there's decent inventory to choose from. I will tell you, if you're a buyer that's looking for an 8, 9, or a 10 on a 10 scale, you know, property that's a 10, they are still selling fast. They are still selling oftentimes for over full price, and they are still selling oftentimes with multiple offers. You just need to understand that. It isn't the 3s through 10s. That was 2021. Virtually everything was selling fast and at or above price with multiple offers. That is not the case now, but it is still often the case with the premium properties. So just be mindful of that on the buy side of things. You know, is the whole, hey, we're going to, you know, borrow money today at a rate and refi it at some point in the near future at a better rate? Is that still a thing? I think it is. But when is that thing going to be? That's been pushed out, no doubt about it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can predict all of the variables, how they interplay with one another, and how it translates into decision making at the federal level, which ultimately influences mortgage rates. You know, as it is, Federal Reserve has said, look, we want inflation to get where we want it, and we're going to keep at it until we get it. We're not going to capitulate on this. They started to, and that's why I think that the world started going, all right, we're going to start seeing some reductions in the federal rate, which is going to translate into reductions in mortgage interest, and here we go. I mean, I had beat that drum and had that conversation because the people I listened to saw that that was likely what was going to happen. It's still likely what's going to happen. It's just happening over a longer trajectory or timeline because the Federal Reserve said we're not getting where we want to be on inflation. Whether I agree with it or not, I understand it. And that's the world we live in. So it doesn't change the fact that, you know, once rates do move, pricing's going to go up. Those things are, and the reason I say that is because demand is still there. If demand was off as a variable, that'd change everything. It would change pricing. Demand is still there. And that, coupled with low inventory, is the reason pricing hasn't gone down. It's stayed flat largely, but it hasn't gone down. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now. There was a couple of, you know, I get various emails and I get various kind of inspirational, motivational things, and some of them are good and some of them are great and some of them are really, some of them really touch my heart and resonate. So there was a couple of these. I'm going to kind of merge them into one for my post today. But let's see. These are just quotes from unknown sources. In the end, we won't be measured by our bank account sales numbers or wins and losses, but by the difference we made in people's lives. And we make a difference through relationships. Don't neglect who and what matters most. It's a big deal. Kind of dovetailing on that. Speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. And listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. I think if you care, and I think if you tend to your relationships, and I think if you engage with the people in your lives that are important, you'll be better for it in every way. Anyway, that was something that resonated with me today. These were quotes I've gotten, and these are things I've gotten in the last couple of weeks and just hung on to. And I just thought it was appropriate to share today. So anyway, I hope you find value in it. As always, I hope you find value in what I'm doing. Just trying to provide good information and good insights so that you and yours can make good decisions as the time in your life dictates that you need to. In the real estate space or otherwise. If there's something we can be doing to help, I want you to know we're here. I want you to know I'm here. So you can always reach out with questions. You can always reach out with concerns. I need help. I'm afraid of whatever. I'm here to help you. So don't be afraid to reach out. I am going to go camping with my family this weekend and enjoy a couple days away. So I hope you and yours have a spectacular weekend. And as I always say, until the next time.